Okay, today is Christmas Day. It is 3:58 a.m. Um, there's this I saw this YouTube about this the World War II veteran, and uh, and it was in the South Pacific, and a he was part of the Marines, who Marines are initially sent first to set up stations, like build airports and stuff like that. And so he was in one of the he was in one of the apparently he was he was one of the people, the Marines, who were sent to build airstrips in the jungle. And so while he was building the jungle, he was barefoot, okay, in the jungle. And so what happened was he was sent to active the front lines where the action was, but he kept collapsing, right? And so so they they sent him to the hospital, and and because he fell down a couple times, and so the people around him thought that he was faking it because he wanted to go back home. He didn't want to fight. And so finally he wept because he didn't know what was going on with him. And apparently, and one of the young doctors told asked him a couple questions, and asked him, "Hey, were you on this island? Were you on this? Where were you?" And he says, "Well, I was on this island." And he says, "Were you on this island?" He goes, "Yes." And he says, "Well, I was. Were you walking around barefoot at any time?" It says, "Well, of course. When he was building the airfield, he was walking around barefoot." So apparently, what happens is the hookworms will burrow through the foot and enter the bloodstream and then into his intestines, okay, and contaminate the whole body, okay. And so what he was suffering was, instead of like him like uh, pretending that he was like wanted to go home because he didn't want to be in active duty, he had an actual medical condition that nobody knew about, right? So then I thought to myself, how is that related to trading? How is that related to trading? I've noticed something about I noticed something about it. Okay, and my YouTube channel is called Tilting Tower of Kiso, right? Tilting. And so what I noticed, that what I don't know causes tilt. Okay, what I don't know causes a psychological thing to happen. Okay, if I am like sleeping outside and I'm right next to the highway, so when there's no wind or anything like that, what happens is that when there's like heavy traffic, what's going to happen is all the carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide will overflow the barrier, and then and then be right surrounding the whole area where my car is parked. And so my brain is physically altered, like brain cell damage. And so when I wake up, I'm in a mental daze, right? So the other part is what happens is when somebody, now the trading buddy of mine who's profitable, he's profitable. So he makes approximately at least $1,000 a day. Okay? And so even though it doesn't seem like it impacts me when I communicate with him, because I'm always constantly losing. And so what's happening is that there's a compounding effect that's happening. And so the tilting occurs because I'm not aware of what's causing my tilt. So so this tilt is like that hookworm to that marine who was trying to like be in active service, but his body is failing him because he doesn't know what's causing it. Okay, he doesn't know what's causing it. And so what I've noticed about is that when I communicate with people, and when I'm like in hell trying to figure out how to make money, and when I hear somebody who's making money, I'm like, it's actually making it worse. Okay, it's making it worse. It's like those people that I talk to. I say, hey, I'm a day trader, and they're like very suspicious. Okay, they're very very suspicious. And when I tell them that I make money, they dig deeper. Okay, so they want to know how much I'm making, and then if I tell them that I make money, they'll go, oh my god, that makes it even worse. Okay, and so there's inherently people who aren't trading, they also get into a tilt because they get like, well, how are you doing it? You're obviously, you look like a very dumb guy, obviously, but how are you making money when you're such a dumb guy, right? So how are you making money when you're such a dumb guy? Okay, that's what they're asking. How are you making money when you're such a dumb guy? Okay, so you really really have to be smart. Also, so essentially, what's very interesting is that I thought that it would not bother me. Okay, I thought I thought that my trading buddy who's making money would not bother me. So I said, hey, that's cool, that's great. Okay, I tell him, hey, that's great, but it is bothering me. I don't know. I am not like standing on a pedestal above all things. I am I am in the down in the mud. Okay? I could be wearing the best suit. I could have the world's best cologne and things like that, but essentially what I am is a human being, okay? Disjointed because I'm not in touch with my emotion. And so even though my emotion is, it reminds me of this. I was in junior high. I think it was in junior high. Was it in junior high? It must have been in junior high, okay? It must have been in junior high. I think it was in junior high, okay? So there's this girl who sat next to me in school. Her name is Anne Widmeyer. I think her name was Anne Widmeyer. Okay, and so it must be a junior high. It must be. Was it junior high? Was it junior high or elementary school? I'm not sure. Okay, we were in class together, and and she would look at me and she would laugh. She would laugh because here because because she was much aware of what's going on around her, and when she sees me who's completely clueless, right? And so she knew, she was more mature than I was, and so she knew about the things, the actions that I do. So even on these videos that I make, people who are profitable are looking at it and start laughing because they know, because but they're already there. They know what they're doing. They've already crossed, or they're already crossed to the bridge, the other side of the bridge, and they know it. They can see it. They know what's happening. They have crossed that bridge. They know what's going on. They know what it takes, and what I'm going through. They know what stage I am in. They know. They know precisely. These videos that I'm making, they look at it and they go, "Hey, that guy, that guy is at this level. He's not there yet. Okay, he's not there yet. Okay, that's what they're saying. Okay, and so I thought it didn't impact me. I thought I was above it all. But it does. It subconsciously seeps in and say, hey, that guy's making money, okay? I'm not making money, okay? I'm not. That's why, I mean, it's like I lost about 8.5% on my I now have two 10K accounts. I now have 10K funding pips accounts, challenges, and the one that I bought yesterday is positive. It's up 1%. Okay, so if I keep this up, I thought, oh, hey, wait a minute. I thought to myself, hey, wait a minute. Well, that's weird. That's quite odd. I'm actually up 1%. That is very similar to what happened like a month ago when on that same account I was up 1.5%, and then it started to go downhill. Okay, but I am what 1%. But I only have 7 more percent to go. Okay, so if I keep this up, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna pass the phase one, and then I got past the phase two. So what did I do? What? So I'm thinking that way. So I must have defeated this tilt that was in there, but I'm not above it all. I'm not. I'm like the rest of the people. I am frail like the other people and susceptible to psychological changes that are occurring in me that's making me do certain things that I should not be doing because of tilt. Tilt causes me to do something without me knowing about it. It's a subconscious kind of thing, but it happens. But I'm not paying attention. I am not paying attention to myself to see. It's like, so when I'm trading, I lose, and then I lose again. I lose again. I lose again, because there isn't a gap between one trade and the next trade that allows me to regroup my mind, reset my mind, to get back to the fresh mind. But that within that short burst of time, I'm in a tilt mode where I just keep compounding it and making it worse. And so I thought I thought that I was above it all. I thought I did. But it does impact me. It does. It does. When somebody's making money and I'm not, and I'm spending the same amount of time, I'm actually spending more time. I've spent the past 5 years more time on it, and yet I couldn't figure it out. But he's making money. That's causing me to tilt. So he's making money like every day, okay? Every day he's making money. I'm not making any money. I'm losing money, but he's making money every day, okay? Not just a little bit, a lot of money, okay? So he's doing very well. I didn't realize that was impactful, but now it just occurred to me today. It just occurred to me, okay? It's like that Marine who was in this South Pacific building the airstrips barefoot. And when you're walking around barefoot, hookworms will enter into your body. And then your body weakens without even you knowing it. Okay? And you start to collapse because the hookworms are taking all your nutrients away from you. Okay? And it's infected your bloodstream. Right? I had no idea.